Most people don't know what they want to do until they're in their 30s, right? And so if you figured it out before you were in your 30s or your 40s or your 50s or your 60s, and you get there and you find that it's not the thing that calls you to be the real hero in your life, well, then change paths. Be the hero. Step the fuck up, right? Don't question yourself to death just as a way to keep yourself small, and then your entire life will go by. And at the end, when it's over, none of the excuses that you used to keep yourself small are actually going to matter. Happy Monday. Welcome back to another episode of Morning Coffee. I'm your host, Rick Alexander. You can follow me at RickAlexander_ or at the Morning Coffee Podcast. You can also go to rickalexander.com to check out some of my coaching programs, the Clarity Academy, and just other content that I produce. I have a book called Burn Your Couch that's available on Amazon. And I have another book called What It Means to Be Human that is coming out in January. So last week on Thursday and Friday, I was going over some of the struggles and subsequent failures. I told you one of the things that I just credit, like a gift I credit my life with, or a gift I'm really grateful for in my life, is the ability to really reframe failure, look at it as a learning point, pivot, and then just keep moving forward. Something that's been invaluable in my own life is just the reframing of the things that try to hold me back and the things that hold all of us back. And as I was thinking about this struggle, I thought about the opposite. I think sometimes we think about the struggle and it feels like, especially if you get in that hustle and grind mentality and you really let ambition in the driver's seat of your life, and you prize hustle for hustle's sake, and instead of prizing the destination or where you're headed or the journey, when hustle just becomes your mantra, it can be easy to lose track of where it is that you're going. And the problem is that where you're going, having a really strong why is far more valuable than any amount of discipline or hustle or anything else in the world. And the reason is because if you have a why that's strong enough, you're not going to have to rely on self-motivating to get there, right? If that intrinsic why is deep enough, then it's going to push you. And one of the things that I'm really happy about in my own life is that I've kind of looked around and I've found the things that give me the opportunity to play the hero in my own story. And that's what I wanted to ask you today. It's like, what are the things in your life that give you the opportunity to play the hero? Because I have a million demons that would let me play small in this life, and you do too. And they come up for you every single time you try to expand your consciousness or be something else. There's 1,000 demons right around the corner, and they're always going to come up, right? And so when you think about stepping into whatever it is you want, ask yourself, well, what's coming up for you, right? What are the thoughts? Those are your demons. And so some of my demons include an ego. I have an ego a mile wide, and it'll ruin anything in my life if I allow it to. Truly, it'll force me to put up walls. That's another monster that I'm always contending with, right? Walls around my heart. Sometimes they'll just pop right up. I won't even pay attention to them, right? And the next thing I know, I've created distance between me and the people that I love, or me and the dream, right? And I start telling myself, well, I don't need that, or I don't need that, right? I'm allowing my ego to build walls around me, right? That's like one of my chief go-tos to stop myself or allow myself to continue to live small. Another thing that I'll do is I'll question a dream 1,000 times just so I don't have to do anything about stepping into it. And when you're questioning it, of course it doesn't feel like that, right? You're asking, is this right for me? Is this right for me? And you ask yourself over and over, and you paralyze yourself thinking that there's a right path and that you're not on it, and that there's a right way to be and you're not it. And there are all these things that you should be, that you should do. And you use all of those to question the thing that you want to do, the person that you are. And so we don't realize it when we're in this incessant mode of questioning ourselves, but it's a coping mechanism. It's a survival mechanism. It's something we use to keep us fenced in, right? Because if you're constantly acquiring, then you're not moving forward in what it is that you do. And so if I don't pay attention, I'll let all of the questions just keep me right exactly where I'm at. If you think about the different energies in your life, right, there's a feminine energy, which is much more inquiry, right? It's much more questioning. And there's a time for that because you got to use your discernment to make sure that you're going in the right direction. But then there comes a time for that masculine energy. That's the direction. That's what you have to go do. It's time to step into it. You've questioned it enough. Now it's just time to stand in your truth and be who you are. At least for me, if I don't pay attention, I'll allow all of those questions to just keep me real small, to keep me right where I am. And one of the things that I've come up against is simply just being the human that I know that I'm here to be, it just isn't enough, right? Because then I fall right back into the questioning. But then when I start thinking about a bigger purpose, right? When I start thinking about really stepping into light, love, and truth and being all that I'm called to be, let's say for Danielle, for my partner, or for the business that I'm running, right? For my clients, because I can tell that people are trapped in their own thought processes that aren't serving them, and it's holding them back and it keeps them in pain. And so those opportunities, they give me the opportunity to face what I'm afraid of, to become the hero in my own story. And so my question for you is, what is that thing for you? What is the thing that allows you, it gives you the opportunity to step up? You know, for an adventurer and a guy that grew up watching these like epic TV tales and watching all these heroes, the best news I could get is a chance to face what scares me, right? But it just also happens to be that it's actually fucking scary in real life because it's not a movie, right? So it's actually scary. You're actually feeling it. You're actually questioning yourself. But in being who your partner deserves, in stepping up for your clients, in stepping up for whatever role that you're taking on that's bigger than yourself, you're invited to step up to everything in your path that would try to stop you from being the hero. So find that opportunity. Find what you really want to be doing with yourself. That's why I'm such a proponent of not just accepting the status quo. I don't care if you question it like I do. Just question it, right? Make sure it's the thing. Make sure you're doing the thing. You're with the person. And if you're not, it's okay to be alone. It's okay to figure it out. It's okay to not know what path you're on for a while. Like, these are all parts of the process, and we always have to act like we all have it together for everybody else. It's bullshit. You don't have to have anything together. You're figuring it out. Most people don't know what they want to do until they're in their 30s, right? And so if you figured it out before you were in your 30s or your 40s or your 50s or your 60s, and you get there and you find that it's not the thing that calls you to be the real hero in your life, well, then change paths. Be the hero. Step the fuck up, right? Don't question yourself to death just as a way to keep yourself small, and then your entire life will go by. And at the end, when it's over, none of the excuses that you used to keep yourself small are actually going to matter. What's going to matter is that you stayed small. So yeah, there's a time for inquiry. There's a time for discernment, right? That feminine energy is we all have it, and there's a reason for it, right? Because you don't want to just blaze down the path like an idiot in the wrong direction. But there's also a time to step into that masculine energy and be direct. Follow what you're doing, right? And this isn't a male-female thing, actually. It doesn't actually have anything to do with that. This is just the energy that I'm talking about, what you're leaning into in your life. What's the season in your life calling into, right? If the season in your life is calling for inquiry, because maybe you've gone down a path that you're not excited about, there's no nobility in putting a filter on your pictures and a smile and pretending that that's where you're at. Right? There's not nobility in pretending to have it together when you don't, because then you might be missing something, right? If you pretend you have the answers, you might be missing the information you need to get the real answers. I've done that a ton. That's another thing I've used to keep myself small, right? So find something that gives you the opportunity to be the hero and then step into that role, right? Maybe that's what you need on a Monday. I don't know. That's what I've needed on a lot of Mondays. I love you guys. We'll talk tomorrow on Morning Coffee.
Aston Martin King, Luther with dreams. The young Denzel, the way I move through scenes. I'm like a preacher that once was a fiend. A story of change that came with wings. Pretty is the skyline, the sky is my eyeline. Son of the most, so from up high I shine. Suited in Prada, stay mellow like Lala. Young fresh with dollars, ladies go gaga. I'm the cum laude, top of the class. Black Wall Street, so my stock will never crash. Giving what I ask, pure religion and cash. For the windows that open, I'm raising my glass. Daylight beams, nightlife schemes. This is my inception, I'm writing my dreams. Immortal view of a star doing what I'm born to do. I see the blue sky, say the Lord's coming through. It all started with a dream. I wanted to be Run DMC. The Lord put the blessing upon DMC. O to the M, dreams were spoken to him. That's when I knew my flows would overflow to the rim. Open my eyes, yes sir, this is what I'm made for. To go hard in the paint like D Wade or D Rose. From the same streets that we rose. International heroes at world primos. Red carpet magic, taking pictures with the president. Total for healthcare, my music is the medicine. My name holds weight, I am never hesitant. Different state resident, this is hood elegance. SLS classic, pursuing my passion. Known for fashion, now I'm Oscar party crashing. Immortal view of a star doing what I'm born to do. I see the blue sky, say the Lord's coming through. Coming through, coming through, coming through, coming through, coming through, coming through. dreams that we had, huh? Even now it don't seem so bad, ma. Close my eyes to see things in front of me. I'm gone now, imagine what I'm gonna be. Dirty to worthy, now I'm all worthy. I'm brought up in Paris, looking all purdy. A mortal view of a star doing what I'm born to do. I see the blue sky, say the Lord's coming through.